something with, what are they called? What do you call them? Micro voxel? No. Zero voxel lines or something. I haven't tried this like ever before, but I think I kind of do it innately. Like by innately, I mean by accident, because I'm pretty sure that like some of the stuff that I do with these walls winds up being these zero voxel line thingies. So you make like a cube, and you make sure that it is an odd shaped cube, so that you have the middle block, so that you have that little circle in the middle there. And then you highlight it and you smooth it down till that becomes tiny, I guess. That looks... I think I can still see through that. I don't know if I'm not supposed to see through it or not, but in the center of it, it looks really, really tiny. Yeah, it looks really tiny. So then what you do is you take your selection tool and you cut the center out of this, and I didn't make that an odd number on both sides, but hopefully it'll still work. If it doesn't, I'll try it again. And I have, oh, here's a hole. Tiny, tiny little hole. And I guess I take this and I put a block or something in the center. No? Yes? No? Maybe? About here. Can I go here? What's that do? Okay. Let's get something that's a different color. Let's do dirt. Everybody likes to work in dirt. So, can I get in that little tiny hole? No, I can't get in that little tiny hole. So I'll do that. Then I'll take this thing. I'm sure I'm doing this completely the wrong way, but we'll see what that turnout is like. See how distorted that was? It's off. I'm sure I'm totally screwing this up. But hey, this is my first time trying to do this. Whatever. And gotta get it on both sides. Oh, yeah, like that. 1, 2. Then you take the very center of this. That is the very center. Copy that. And if I paste it properly, I should have a line. A very thin line. I did mine very, very thin. Oh yeah. Yeah, I like that. That's cool. And these work just like micro voxels, but you can make some pretty fucking tight shapes. PG-13. But that is pretty cool. Now, I used to work a lot with microvoxels, so this is very, very similar. they work pretty much the same way. So I guess technically I could make something like this, which I actually got by accident. Using this? Possibly? Perhaps? Fun way. Yep. So I could... I don't need to do this because it already works, but yeah, look at that. That's fun. Can't really tell if that's sharper than what's already there. Undo is my friend. But now I believe I have lost the shape. I put down. I'm going to take this. I'm going to take this and I'm going to template this. I'm going to 0 Vox. I do a little bang in front of it so it shows up at the top. So I've got like my 0 voxel, got my pip template, and my pip that I use. This is the more recent pip used with the smoothing tool, the most recent smoothing tool. So like it's thinner than the old ones. But as was demonstrated before, the difference between a 0 voxel line and a microvoxel line is the way that it interacts with normal voxels. So if you notice, I'll do this again. So if I put this down to the ground and I do it, you see how the where did it go? There it is. Do you see how I put this on the ground and it doesn't, at least it's not supposed to distort the ground below it. But if I use a pip, a normal microvoxel, and I do the exact same thing, it raises the ground next to it. And the easy way that I can describe, or at least that it works in my brain, is this is half. This is a half, and this is a whole. But it's like if this is 1, and this will be 1/2, and this is 1/2 to a different side, because as you can tell, it works half on grid, and this works way off grid. It's kind of weird. So, yeah, normal voxel, 0 voxel, pip. So it's pretty cool. Now I am going to reset my ground. Oh, and another cool thing that happens whenever you're working with like a microvoxel, I don't know what happens with this because I just made it, but when you're working with a microvoxel and then you try to re-add this, that happens. It tries to realign itself to the grid at a farther point down. So it's pretty cool. You can get, like, it will force the connection. It's pretty neat.